The Chicago Bears have signed an absolute game wrecker. Hello, everyone. I'm Andy here with Chicago Bears React, bringing you all of the Chicago Bears news you're seeking here in free agency season. Before we dive into today's story, if you wouldn't mind doing me a favor and please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, share, do whatever you can to help the channel, but also make sure you're tuned into what we're talking about, because there's going to be so much news coming out over the coming months between free agency. We're going to have the draft. We're going to have OTAs, training camp, all of it. You're not going to want to miss a thing. There's going to be so much information coming out there, and we're going to help you find the best. So obviously, we are highly focused right now just on free agency, and that's where some teams are spending a lot of money. Other teams are the Chicago Bears, which has been a little surprising. I think Bears fans, myself included, thought there might be a little more of a splash signing coming at some point, but everything's been fairly conservative, which does match Ryan Poles and his style. But we have some news to share that I think some Bears fans are already really excited about, but that's the signing of Gerald Everett, which was reported by Jeremy Fowler. And then, of course, you can see here it was expanded upon by Adam Schefter. So we're looking at this deal. This is a 2-year contract, $12 million, only $6 million guaranteed. So this is a very, very low investment for the player who's ultimately going to be tight end 2. And this is, in my opinion, I think probably the best signing yet for a number of reasons. And so we're going to take a look at that right now. And so one of the first things, I want to just call attention to is just his history. And so you can see here, he started in LA with the Rams during the time Shane Waldron was with the LA Rams. And then he did his season with Shane Waldron in Seattle. So you're looking at a player here who has familiarity with the Bears offensive play caller. This is somebody who is going to be able to pick up the offense very quickly. It's a veteran. They're going to be a good, stable presence, I think, for a young offense that's learning Shane Waldron's system for the first time. So that's one. That's a big one. I think that's exciting. 2, this is somebody who is steadily improved. You take a look at these yards numbers, and 244, 320, 408, 417. It continues to grow. A little bit of a dip this past season, but that's not the biggest dip, and he still had 51 receptions, which is the second most of his career. He had over 400 yards receiving, and when you consider, this is for your tight end 2, that is pretty solid production. And so I look at that and I'm saying Gerald Everett could be a tight end 1 for some people. For the Bears, he doesn't have to have that kind of a workload. And I mentioned the workload thing because it brings me to what I think is one of the more critical aspects of this signing, which is the fact that Cole Kmet had to carry such a heavy load last season. Robert Tonyan was objectively a failure as a free agent signing last year. And so bringing in a much more reliable, dependable, proven player like Gerald Everett is going to take some of that pressure off of Cole Kmet. He doesn't have to do everything. He doesn't have to be everything. And in this offense, so Shane Waldron is like the king of 2 tight end sets. So you have to have 2 out there anyway. We needed this guy. Right now, we didn't have that player on the roster. And so this solves a very big need at a very low cost. And it looks like, if after one season it's not working out, you can cut him. And it's not going to be that big of a deal. So, but the biggest reason that I think this signing really matters is because of the type of player Gerald Everett is. And so, Brad Spielberger was one of the first people to kind of point this out. Since 2022, Gerald Everett has forced 28 missed tackles, which is the second most among tight ends over that span. What does that mean? It means he's like the king of yak, yards after the catch. This is somebody who can extend plays and ultimately be more of a security blanket for your quarterback. If we take a look at Pro Football Focus's analysis here, they talk about the fact that he's much more of a check down kind of player. He averaged, as I highlighted here, more than 5 yards after the catch in 5 consecutive seasons, with an average depth of target of just 6 yards. So what does that mean? It means he's not somebody who's going to stretch the defense downfield. He's somebody who's getting a lot of screens, who's kind of that check down option for your quarterback. But then he's averaging five yards after the catch. And so he becomes that person who can really be that security blanket for your quarterback, and then still find a way to extend plays and get those first downs. So if he's someone who's catching it at around 6 yards and then taking it an additional 5, that's a first down. That's a big deal. And the Bears obviously are going to have a rookie quarterback next season. If you have a rookie quarterback, it's so important that you have good quality, dependable check down options for him to throw to when he's facing pressure. And so I think it explains the Gerald Everett signing. It explains why they went after DeAndre Swift, who is one of the best pass catching backs who is available. Certainly a big upgrade as a pass catcher over Khalil Herbert. And so now you've added 2 critical players to your offense who are going to play that check down kind of role. And so now if they can just get another receiver or 2 to help kind of stretch the defense in terms of depth, baby, you got a stew going. We're all set. So, I look at that and I say, you can see the pieces coming together. I still think there's a big signing that's going to be coming. My gut says it's wide receiver. Keep an eye on Mike Williams. Since he just got cut today. And, I think that number 9 pick in the draft, again, unless something unexpected happens, you could be looking at Rome Odunze or Malik Neighbors coming in as well. And so this is exciting. I'm very excited about what's happening to the offense. None of these signings are sexy, but I can promise you, whoever wins free agency in the NFL wins nothing else. You don't win Super Bowls through free agency. Most of these guys are available for a reason. You don't want to use free agency to try to plug massive starting level roles. You're using it to plug, to find suitable role players, and that's exactly what the Bears are doing. I trust Ryan Poles. I love his vision. I love the way he goes about his business. So I just gushed a little bit. Feels good. Feels good to have an actual adult in the room for once in the GM seat. So let me know in the comments what I want to hear from you. Who do you think is the next signing for the Bears? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, Bears fans, bear down.